Subscribe to Search TV on YouTube. Search for Search TV and click the subscribe button.
You take me now, you take me now. We lift your name on high. Yours it is to set the pace for others. Excellence is your goal. Federal United MINNA Niger State, a citadel of learning, technological advancement of our land is your primary goal. To build a self-reliant force of sound mind and moral, who will make our nation relevant in global development. You take me now, you take me now. We lift your flag up high. The pride of Nigeria you are, and you will ever be. Our love for you won't cease.
Set up your day. Every quality information about
members in here, if you're in the building, you can please find your way to the food court. We have the item 7 in number happening right now, so please find your way to the food court.
Always in time. We do whatever spring.
What?
Campers radio. Not super thing. What a night.
Thank you very much. Once again, you're welcome. My name is Odaba Akoji, and I'll be the host for the Manifesto. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of everyone here. Well, I'd like to start with the chairman and members of the Students' Union Independent Electoral Committee, SUEC. Here present is Professor A.Y. Kabiru. He's the chairman of SUEC. Thank you so much for joining us, Prof. Also here is the Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Bashir Ganiu. Thank you so much for joining us, Doctor. Here as well is the Chief Security Officer, Captain Issa Mohammed, retired, ably represented by Mr. Yunusa Aliyu Waziri. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of all candidates and aspirants into executive positions of the Students' Union. Also, I'd like to acknowledge the outgoing president of the Students' Union and other EXCO members as well. I'd also like to appreciate everyone who is here seated, the audience who is here seated at the MBB House, and every listener out there who's listening on Search FM or who is streaming live from anywhere in the world. Once again, you're welcome to the 2023-2024 Special Manifesto, organized for all cleared candidates and aspirants of the executive officers' positions of the Student Union. You're welcome. So I'd like to begin first by inviting the chairman of SUEC, Professor A.Y. Kabiru, for his welcome address. A round of applause, please.
The Dean of Students, contestants here present, the managers of Search FM, the audience, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this occasion. of presentation of manifestos by contesting students or aspirants for different positions of the student union government. The process of the 2023-2024 election began on the 20th of November with the announcement of commencement of election process. And that process has continued to this date, and today has been scheduled for the presentation of what you have for your constituents. The public campaigns have been on. We have heard drums being beaten all over, songs all over, all in a bid to win support from your constituents. This aspect of it is the intellectual campaign. We expect that you'll be able to marshal points cogently to attract the support of students by giving them what it takes to be in that position you want to be. So I welcome you all to this occasion, and I want to implore you to exhibit decorum in your presentation, and as part of the ongoing campaign, you must obey rules and regulations and the guidelines you have put forward for this electioneering campaign and the election proper, which is coming up on the 2nd of December. So I wish all of you well. I wish everyone success, and I hope you will key in to a very peaceful and seamless election process. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof, for that welcome address. So we'll get into the crux of the matter while we're here now. Like Prof mentioned, there are rules for the entire electioneering, the entire campaign, and there are rules for this manifesto. So I'll just run through those rules as we prepare to get into the manifesto proper. First off, for the aspirants who, the other aspirants, not the presidential aspirants, you have 3 minutes each to speak. At the 2-minute 30-second mark, you're going to be given a warning by the timekeeper. Let me introduce the timekeeper. This is Miss Ngozi Anuligo. She will be the timekeeper for the entire event today. So 3 minutes for aspirants and 5 minutes for the presidential aspirants. The aspirants will get a warning bell at 2-minute 30 seconds. This is what the bell is going to sound like at 2 minutes 30 seconds. That's a warning bell. Now, on the 3 minutes mark, when your time is up, you're going to... Thank you very much. Now, the audience here seated, I'm going to need you to please put your phones on silent so that during the event, there will be no phone calls to interrupt all that's happening. Audience here should please not interrupt or applaud a speaker until they are done with what they are saying, because remember, there's a time limit, and so you're taking away from their time if you break or interrupt what they're saying. No side talks or any forms of distractions during the course of this manifesto. I'm pretty sure that that's very clear, and I hope we'll be able to keep to all of those instructions. So we'll get into the manifesto proper right now. We have some of the aspirants around. We'll be starting from the aspirant for the position of the Director of Sports, in the person of Alaka Ridwan Adewale from the Department of Physics 300 level.
Good morning. I'm by name Comrade Alaka Ridwan Adewale from the Department of Physics, School of Physical Science. Sir Chairman, sir, I greet you, and the Dean of Student Affairs. We really appreciate your presence here. As said earlier, I'm contesting for the post of Director of Sports for the Student Union Government. As we all know, sports is one of the things that our student members are seeking for improvement for, and we know our former Director of Sport are trying their best, which we are all trying to improve year by year. And here I have some agendas here, which the first agenda is promoting inclusivity. And This is by carrying everybody along. Everybody, we are all entitled to sport in this school. So far, we are a student of FUT. And this is one of the agenda we are trying to do. We are not trying to take away any other person. And this comes with paying more attention than before to our females. Because as you all notice, we pay more attention to the guys than the females, which they are mostly complain about that almost every time. But this time around, we will be carrying everybody along, both male and female. We are all entitled to this since we are students. And the second agenda is enhancing facilities and better standardizing of our competitions. This comes with providing a better facility for any sport you are doing and better standardizing, organizing our competition well. Though there is no way we do things and people will not complain, but this time around we are trying to improve things. Our organization, our facilities, every single thing we are trying to improve it. And we are trying and we work towards it to give us another field. As we all complain that our football field, only one football pitch is not enough for us in this school. And I'm promising to work towards getting another field. And another thing, our focus will not be only football. We'll be focusing on all other sports. All other sports will be carried along as we will try to improve in all aspects and carrying everybody along. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is supposed to be a student union thing. I was expecting, okay, let me do this. Let me do this for him. And of the greatest Nigerian students, ever conscious Nigerian students, I have one very big bossa for all of you that are here right now. Oh, because I said one. Oh, yeah, three. Three bossa. 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 That's more like it. Thank you very much. Next on this list who's available right now is someone who is vying for the office of Welfare Officer 2, Adamu Ibrahim Alawa from the Department of Science Education 400 level. Please make your way to the podium to present your manifesto.
Great Nigeria student. Great Nigeria student. My name is Ibrahim Adamu Alawa, an aspirant is vying for Welfare Director 2 under Student Union Government. So here is my manifesto. I start again by this. Standing in already existing protocols is the physical appearance with the nomenclature Comrade Ibrahim Adamu Alawa, popularly known as Alawa, a privileged Chief Press Secretary to the SUG, Vice President 2, and the Secretary General, National Association of Shiroro Students, one-time PRO2, Student Chemical Society of Nigeria, MINNA chapter, General Secretary, Student Chemical Society of Nigeria, MINNA chapter, a 400-level student from Science Education, Federal University of Technology. I'm vying for the post of Welfare Director 2 under Student Union Government. As a dedicated and compassionate comrade, I'm committed in serving welfare need of our student body as enshrined in Union Constitution. If elected, I will strive to create a more inclusive, supportive environment for all Bosolites, ensuring that every voice is heard, every concern is addressed in Boso campus. The fact about my aspiration is in line by the sustainability blueprint, which is ensure inclusivity, advocacy, academic excellence, and improvement of general student welfareism. If given the mandate, I will make sure I work in compliance with my policy documents, work tirelessly to improve the overall well-being of Boso campus by implementing initiatives that will promote health awareness, financial assistance to indigent students through student support system, and promotion of academic excellence. Here is my 5 breakdown of agenda. Number 1, I have inclusivity. 2, I have advocates for increased budget allocation towards improving medical facilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's try to be mindful of time. You notice that he ran out of time before he could complete what he was saying. And not to forget that this is the manifesto. 4 cleared candidates for the 2023-2024 general elections exco positions coming to you from the conference room of the MBB House, that's the Search FM permanent building on the main campus of the Federal University of Technology. Moving up to the next aspirant, this gentleman is running for the office of Welfare 1, Mustafa Wasiu Abodurin from the Agri-Economics and Farm Management Department. You have 3 minutes.
And of the greatest Nigerian students. And of the greatest go, sir. All greetings to the select chairman, the student affairs, and all dignitaries. By the fact of naming ceremony, before and after now, I remember humble self Wasiu Abodurin Mustafa, popular known as All the Best, the immediate past PRO of NAS, the immediate past PRO of NAOS, the PA to the outgoing SG president, the SA on special duty to the outgoing SG Senate president, a 2-level student from Department of Agri-Economics and Farm Management, School of Agric. I'm a candidate for the post of Welfare Director 1 at SG level. This is my agenda. Without boring with words, I have a simple manifesto. This aspiration was born out of my strong willingness and passion to serve the student union of this great university. 1, inclusive leadership. The best type of leadership is not leader, assume and hope for what people need. Instead, I believe that through inclusive, collective leadership, where our students will be represented at the table where all welfare decisions will be made, irrespective of school, department level, and tribes and background. Your thoughts, your ideas, and feel will always be relevant. There will be no welfare director. No one should direct the welfare of over 25,000 students on campus. There will be a welfare community where all will work out relevant needs. 2, responsive channel. A channel that will function 24/7 on standby to address all sorts of issues and feedback from footmites. 3, academic excellence. Students of this university came here with one notion: to absorb the university has to over, get 45 with knowledge, and be certified by the university. Inability to achieve this, it can lead to fatality on this quote. So on this, there will be a mass student tutorial for large classes, mock and standardized assessment model for better preparation of our students ahead, and fully funded, not absolute but form-filled academic challenges. 4, proactive action on student well-being. Undoubtedly, one thing brought us here, academics, but it will be impossible if it will be impossible to achieve this if students are not in the right state of wellness. If given the opportunity, I will ensure student welfare in all areas. 1, on health, mass health awareness and sensitization, quarterly mass tests and drug admission for all students. 2, on transportation, we go beyond extraordinary to increase the number of structures we have this time around. We are going to collaborate with the Microfinance Bank, Indigenous Rider Association for a productive partnership. On good qualities, may imagine the welfare director, one of this great union, I will sure that no bad goods will ever get promoted, talk less of being consumed by students or campus. On goods price, I have a different experience, especially from sellers across the campus. On security, we'll be focusing on DJ community to understand the area, to partner with strengthening the security environment. In conclusion, I wish you and I pioneer to the best welfareism, where you and I will be working together to build a functioning welfare community. Just the welfare director is not what we need. We need a system where every part of the welfare will be functioning. The welfare of footmite from footmite by footmite. Mustafa Wasiu Abodurin is the name. Find the post for the post of welfare director 1 at the SUG level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for him once again. Now, for those of us who are just coming in, I'd like to run through the ground rules for the manifesto once again. Each of the speakers, each of the aspirants have 3 minutes, apart from the presidential aspirants. Those aspirants will have 6 minutes each. On the 2-minute 30-second mark for each of the aspirants, the timekeeper is going to ring a bell that's going to sound like that, warning bell. And on the 3-minute mark, you're going to hear a bell like this. Now for the presidential aspirants, you have 6 minutes to speak. On the 5-minute mark, you're going to get a warning bell that sounds like that. And on the 6-minute mark, you're going to hear that bell. Audience that is seated here, please, you need to put your phone on silent or turn it off to avoid any forms of distraction. Please, the audience, no matter how impressive it is, please do not interrupt or applaud while an aspirant is speaking. Wait until they're done talking so you do not take out of their time. And very important, no side talks or any form of distractions during the course of the manifesto. Now, we have someone else in the building. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay, vying for the position of treasurer, let's welcome Abdul Salam Omeza, 400 level plant biology. You have 3 minutes, please.
Good morning to you all. I greet you all in the name of Aluta, the mother of all struggle. I still remain my humble self, Comrade Abdul Salam Zulkifli Omeza, from the Department of Plant Biology, 400 level, student of Life Science, the jewel of UTMX. I'm vying for the position of treasurer in the forthcoming SCG election, Federal University of Technology, MINNA. As you all know, stated in the school constitution, a treasurer is someone who is a good record keeper of all transactions in and out of the union account and dues paid into the account. A treasurer is also responsible of accounting the union's money received from the union's official and money paid on behalf of the union. I, Comrade Abdusalam Zulkifli Omeza, have served as the treasurer of the GWS faculty, SLS, and I represented well when it comes to students' interest financially. As I am a responsible individual, I believe I would be a great fit for the role of treasurer. Being a treasurer requires trust, competence, assurance, which I believe I can actually provide, and judging from my service as a former treasurer of SLS. I'm ready to serve at SCG level because for me it is very important that the union is financially responsible so that it can run smoothly in the present and in the future. If elected as the treasurer, I am ready to effectively manage the finance, prudent in using the student union funds to the executive to execute projects and build strong relationship with other people and other students at large in Federal University of Technology. I have experience from the previous administration in SLS where I have to handle banking, financial reports and budgeting, which has enabled me to acquire skills for the position of treasurer. As a one-time treasurer in the faculty, I am ready to take initiative, participate and be passionate about the work. I integrate new possibilities in generating funds to the school, sports, and my transparency as a treasurer, if elected. I, Comrade Abdusalam Zulkifli Omeza, I will always be ready to give the students feedback on financial expenditure and support. I enjoy you all to make me your preferred choice as the treasurer of this great institution. I still remain my humble self, Comrade Abdusalam Zulkifli Omeza, going for the position of treasurer at SCG level. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the next aspirant, Ayodele Toluwani Okpeyemi is vying for the office of Director of Socials, 300 level URP. Please make your way to the podium. You have 3 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayodele Toluwani Okpeyemi, a 300 level student of the Department of Urban and General Planning, School of Environmental Technology. I am the current Director of Socials of the faculty. I'm the current Director of Socials of the faculty. As a Director of Social, I've made a lot of impact in the faculty. I believe social life is not just about parties but I believe social life should also entail gaming, activities where students have fun and enjoy themselves. I have demonstrated this by initiating costume day in my faculty, gaming activities whereby we have different people from different departments where they exercise their gaming skills, and have made possible that all students enjoy themselves on the social media by creating content with content creators, whereby you can check online for your you can check online. Thank you for listening to me.
And of the greatest Nigerian students. Thank you very much. And now we'll be moving on to aspirants for the position of financial secretary. We have a couple of them around. I'd like to welcome Ogunwale John, who is vying for the office of the financial secretary. He is a 200 level student of agricultural and rural development. You have 3 minutes.
And of the greatest Nigerian students. And of the greatest Nigerian students. I by name Ogunwale John Mofinfolua, popularly known as Gosoraku. I'm a 12th student of School of Agric and Agricultural Technology, Agric Extension Rural Development precisely. I'm the general class here for the 200 level. I'm the SA to the SUG president on academics, SA to the NAS president on innovatives and creativities. I'm excited to announce my candidacy for the position of financial secretary in this coming SUG election. I believe that financial responsibility is the cornerstone of a successful student government, and I'm combined to ensuring that our finances are managed effectively and transparently to benefit all students. As if I emerge as the financial secretary, I work tirelessly to support our SUG mission goals and most importantly, names. My visions. My vision is financial transparency. I will implement transparent financial reporting practices that are easily accessible to all students. You deserve to know how your student fees are being managed, how the finances in the organization is being managed. Budgeting. I will work closely with other SUG executives to create a responsible and student-centered budget that reflects the diverse needs and interests of our student body. Fundraising. I will employ innovative ways to increase our SUG finances resources, reducing the body of student fees and expanding opportunities for investment and innovatives. Student support. I will advocate for financial aids program, scholarship to support students in need. No student should be deprived of educational opportunity due to financial constraints. I will also organize seminars that will orientate people, especially students that are into one business or the other, so that they can have an idea how they can elevate their finance status in their businesses. If I'm emerged as the financial secretary, I will be transparent and work tirelessly to improve the lives of all 50 million students. Together, we can create a stronger, more inclusive and financial stable student union government. Let's be the brighter financial future of our SUG and our students' community. I'm hereby soliciting for support in this coming election. Vote Ogunwale John Mofinfolua for your financial secretary. Thank you so much for your time.
Great Nigerian students. Also running for the office of financial secretary, Islamia Adedoyin, a 300 level student of geology. Please make your way to the podium. You have 3 minutes.
And of the greatest Nigerian students, all protocols are duly observed. Your economic security does not lie in your job. It lies in your own power to produce, to think, to learn, to create, and to adapt. And that's through financial independence. I am Jari Ogbe Islamia Adedoyin, a 300 level student of geology department, a one-time vice president of the School of Physical Science. I possess the quality of a problem solver and adaptable communication skills, accountability, transparency, and teamwork. I'll be vying for the position of financial secretary at the upcoming SUG election on Saturday. Aside from my constitutional duties, my primary objective would be to create an accurate and detailed financial report, maintaining a precise record of all transactions and expense. I, in concert with my executives, we spearhead a seminar geared towards sensitizing, educating and enlightening students and serving executives on how to curb profligacy and cultivating the culture of financial prudence, with a view of laying the foundation of financial freedom and self-sustaining upon graduation. I will work towards establishing a clear financial policies and procedures by implementing the use of requisition form. Requisition form is a form every executive collecting money has to fill with a photocopy of their ID card before the collection of funds. This will all promote accountability. Additionally, I am committed to fostering open communication and collaboration with other departments to ensure that their financial goals align with the union objectives. And I will be readily available to address any financial concerns or queries by providing timely and accurate information. By electing me as the Financial Secretary, you can expect a dedicated and a responsible approach to financial management with a focus on transparency, accountability, and strategic planning. Long live Federal University of Technology, MINNA. Long live Student Senior Executive Government. Long live Niger State. Long live Nigeria. Thank you very much for your audience.
A very big bossa for the first female comrade to come up here today. And now, vying for the office of PRO, Mohammed Ahmed, 200 level mechanical engineering. Please make your way to the podium. A round of applause, please. You have 3 minutes.
Good day, everyone. I am Ahmed Mohammed, a dedicated student of Mechanical Engineering Department, currently in 200 level. I am honored to present my manifesto as a candidate for the position of Public Relations Officer, PRO, in our great citadel of learning at the Student Union Government. But we would like to acknowledge the presence of everyone here in their respective titles, recognizing the pivotal role effective communication plays in our vibrant community. I propose the following transformative changes in publicity. 1. Interactive multimedia platform. Introduce and enhance interactive multimedia platforms such as live question and answer session, podcasts, and virtual town hall to directly engage with student body. This approach will foster a dynamic exchange of ideas and concern, ensuring that the voice of every student is heard and addressed. Secondly, localized information hubs. Establish localized information hubs within each department or major academic area or to provide targeted and relevant updates. This decentralization of information will ensure that the students receive news tailored to their specific academic interests, enhancing engagement and relevance. Thirdly, communication spotlight initiative. Fourth, the public relations workshop. The fifth, feedback driving communication. We all know that what the channel or the way communication works is when communication is being passed to the receiver and the receiver understands the certain communication being passed from the sender to the receiver, then it is very, very paramount to take note of the feedback. Because if the feedback is not positive, which is negative, definitely the message being passed is not well received. So a feedback-driven communication is very, very important. Now, a major pledge I bring forth to enhance the previously outlisted agenda is to introduce a use of a mobile application. So what are the features of the mobile application? Firstly, announcement and updates. Provide a dedicated session for important announcements, updates, and news relevant to the student community. This is very important. Secondly, interactive forum. Include discussion forum. Thirdly, event calendar. Fourth, localized information hub. Fifth, multimedia content sharing. Sixth, push notification, and the seventh one is what? Feedback mechanism. In summary, my vision as your public relations officer is to usher a new era of dynamic, inclusive, and engaging communication within our students through interactive multimedia, localized information hub, and the rest of the futures which I proclaimed. Thank you very, very much. My name is Mohammed Ahmad.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Ahmed. Next, vying for the office of Assistant General Secretary, Jamiu Sadiq Adekunle, a 200-level student of Civil Engineering. Please make your way to the podium. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm by name Jamiu Sadiq Adekunle, a bona fide student of Civil Engineering, 200 level of this great institution, Federal University of Technology, MINNA. I'm honored to present my manifesto outlining my vision for the role of Assistant General Secretary with great enthusiasm. I aspire to bring positive change and contribute to the growth of this university and the development of this university, Federal University of Technology, MINNA. As a candidate for this esteemed position, I pledge to be your reliable and dedicated representative, ensuring that your voice is heard and your needs are met. I would like to stated my points and the reason why I'm capable for this particular AGS in 3 encapsulation. Firstly, having served in the department Civil Engineering as one-time Provost Marshal and the current Deputy Vice Chancellor and the current Deputy Chief of Staff of the Faculty of Engineering, I think this one make me as a bona fide, competent, aspiring candidate for this position of Assistant General Secretary. If elected, I would like to work on effective communication to foster transparency and inclusivity. I will establish an open channels communication between the student body, the administration, and some other important stakeholders. By what? By actively listening to your concerns and ideas. I will ensure that your perspective play a central role in decision-making process. And moreover, I will still work on advocacy and what we call representative. As your Assistant General Secretary, I am committed to advocating for your rights and your welfare. I will actively engage with various departments and committees to address issues such as academic policy, student services, and campus facility, including political matter. Then collaboration and teamwork. Building effective partnership is crucial for success in any leadership role. I will collaborate closely with the General Secretary to achieve shared goals by fostering a culture of teamwork. We can create an environment of harmony, productivity, and accomplishment. In conclusion, my dear brothers and sisters, I'm confident in my ability to fulfill the responsibility of Assistant General Secretary. With your support, we can create a student-centric institution that provides a nurturing and empowering environment for everyone. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For those who are just coming, I'd like to run through the protocol for this event and the ground rules. Now, for all of the aspirants, apart from the presidential aspirants, you have 3 minutes each to speak. On the 2-minute 30-second mark, you're going to hear the warning bell. On the 3-minute mark, you're going to hear the timer bell. Now, for the presidential candidates, you have 6 minutes each to speak. On the 5-minute mark, you hear the warning bell. On the 6-minute mark, you hear the timer bell. Please, everybody in the audience, please make sure to put your phone on silent or turn your phone off to avoid interruptions. Audience here should please not interrupt or applaud while an aspirant is speaking so that they do not lose their train of thought and they can make use of their time properly. And as much as possible, please ensure that there are no forms of side talks or distractions during the course of the manifesto. Once again, You're welcome to the Student Union Manifesto for the 2023-2024 general election for all the cleared aspirants for different positions. Moving now to another aspirant for the position of Assistant General Secretary. Please welcome Mohammed Fatima Zahara from the Department of Microbiology 200 level. You have 3 minutes.
And of the greatest Nigerian students. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mohammed Fatima Zahara, a 200 level student of the Department of Microbiology, School of Life Science, and the candidate running for the position of Assistant General Secretary at the Student Union level. As I want to take this proactive role in the decision made for our dear students, the role encompasses being able to assist the General Secretary in the administrative functions and other roles as it is provided in the Union Constitution. Now, people may ask, what is the role of an Assistant General Secretary? And I believe that before I can be an Assistant General Secretary, a good one at that, you have to know that the functions of the General Secretary. And having known that the roles and the skills of an Assistant General Secretary includes the following: taking last minutes, helping the General Secretary in making agenda, being able to ask when the General Secretary is absent, playing an advisory role to the General Secretary, proper time management and organizational skill, readiness to act when called upon, well-determined, and most importantly, a great teamwork spirit. Being serving as the public relations officer for National Association of Microbiology Students, NAMS, ensuring good communication among students, and I also have been involved in creating relevant and clear resources. These skills are also helpful in the role of Assistant General Secretary. Another one is what I tend to achieve by being the Assistant General Secretary. One major reason is to create awareness for the prospective young girls like mine to participate in leadership and political policies as a representative of the females, to encourage and motivate my gender to get more involved so that the student community and the nation at large will benefit from the vibrancy of the females. Also, I want to set a pace for good representative of the girl child in the government and politics, and make good example of myself and other great female leaders like Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and others as the voice of the students. I believe that I am capable enough to assist the General Secretary and also indirectly assist the President, because I believe that if we have a capable General Secretary, it will be easier to know the needs of my fellow students and make sure they are addressed appropriately. I would also want to know that the General Secretary needs a visionary and capable assistants with the ability to help him or her carry out the duties effectively. I want to be able to contribute my ideas and abilities to the promotion and values of the union. It is my hope that I will be given the opportunity, not only through your vote, but also through your support, to serve and take the student union to greater heights. Finally, I'm approachable and friendly and up for a cup of coffee and chat with anyone. So feel free to drop your line, and hopefully come on Saturday and give me your vote. By doing so, you'll be choosing a leader who is dependable, decisive, and determined to serve with good administration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A round of applause as she makes her way to her seat. Now moving up, let me welcome Aku Emmanuel Kedonojo, a 400 level student from the Department of Building. He's running for the office of General Secretary. You have 3 minutes.
Greatest Nigerian students, I extend to you solidarity greetings with great respect, humility, and commitment to service. I am Aku Emmanuel Kedonojo, popularly known as Zono, a candidate for the office of General Secretary at the Student Union level. In the realm of effective governance, the role of General Secretary is that of a guardian of our shared history, translating moments into meaningful records. As the keeper of our story, I aspire to weave a narrative of unity through meticulous documentation, ensuring that the echoes of our achievements and decisions resonate for generations to come. I want to assure the general student populace of Federal University of Technology, MINNA, that under the supervision of the Union President, members of the CEC, legislature, I will serve to the best of my ability to continue to consolidate on the legacy of my predecessor. The following are my agenda: skill development workshops, organize workshops and training sections to equip students with practical skills, fostering personal and professional development. Collaborative events. Facilitate collaboration with other student organizations, academic departments, or external partners to organize events that cater to a diverse range of interests and needs. Alumni engagement. Foster stronger connections between current students and alumni through networking events, mentorship programs, and alumni-led workshops. Student advocacy. Serve as a vocal advocate for students, for student rights and welfare, ensuring that your concerns are not only heard but acted upon effectively. Leadership at its core is a journey marked by choices and consequences. Effective documentation is the compass that guides us, turning each decision into a legacy and every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Let our records be a testament to the leadership that forges a path with clarity, wisdom, and enduring impact. In the words of Franklin Roosevelt, we cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. The role of the General Secretary is a pivotal one in shaping for the future documenting of our present. It is a responsibility that extends beyond the corridors of power, reaching into the archives where our collective story is safeguarded. Your vote for me is not just a vote for an individual. It is a vote for a future etched with purpose, unity, and commitment to excellence. Thank you for your trust. And on this note, I say Aluta Continua, Victoria Asata.
Now, moving on to the other candidates who are available now. For the position of treasurer, from the Department of Agric and Bioresources Engineering 400 level, let's welcome Naga Paul Aondohemba.
Great Nigerian students, my name is Naga Paul Onumba, popularly known as Aluta Currency, a 400 level student of Agricultural and Bioresources Engineering. I am honored to present my manifesto as a candidate for the position of the Student Union Treasurer, with a commitment to enhancing our union's financial integrity and serving the interests of every student. I recognize the importance of a well-oiled treasury in the smooth functioning of our union. If elected, I will ensure promptness in performing treasury operations. This includes timely banking of our union's money, improving the overall efficiency of our union's treasury. Dear footmates, transparency is a cornerstone of a trustworthy union. I pledge to maintain accurate and detailed financial records, documenting the incomes and expenditures. In collaboration with the President, I will ensure that the union makes financial decisions that will benefit the entire student community, advocating initiatives that directly benefit and uplift the diverse needs of our student body. Great Nigerian students, join me. Let's build a financially secure, transparent, and efficient student union that prioritizes the welfareism of the students. Your trust is my motivation. I pledge to ensure the security of our union funds. God bless Futmina. God bless Nigeria. Aluta Continua. Victoria Aseta. Vote Naga Paul Anuba for the position of the treasurer. Thank you all.
A round of applause for him once again. Before we move on, I'd like to recognize the presence of Mr. Zubairu Umar Anderson from Quality Assurance and Productivity Office. Well, you're very welcome, sir. Now, moving up, let me welcome Veronica Eberechukwu Ezenwafo. She's vying for the office of Financial Secretary, a 200-level student from the Department of Animal Biology. You have 3 minutes.
Greatest Nigerian students. Good morning, the Dean of Student Affairs and everybody present here. My name is Veronica Eberechukwu Ezenwafo. Presenting my concept for a physically transparent and accountable student union government to you today is I, Veronica Eberechukwu Ezenwafo, PKA Vilicious. Vilicious is my brand name for the Kulikuli business, which I run in school campus. I think it is appropriate for the student body to have a financial secretary who understands money and is dedicated to protecting our funds, making sure that our expenditures are reasonable, and encouraging financial literacy among our students. I have a vision. I will I will continue to fight for the interest of the students community, update them with regular financial tracking programs. I want to make sure that our budget is well planned and that we have a clear strategy for how we spend our hard-earned money. I have a vision for commitment to financial transparency. I have a vision for responsible spending and prioritization. I have a vision for financial literacy for all students of our great institution. I want to make the voices of our students to be heard in financial matters. Together, let's build a financially sound and transparent SUG that empowers our students and enriches our students' life. God bless MINNA and God bless you as you support and vote for Veronica Iberechukwu Ezenwanfo as the Financial Secretary. Thank you.
This is Search FM.
Now we are about to bring out the big guns. We're moving into presidential territory. And so because of that, I know that there's going to be quite a lot of excitement. So let's just run through the rules, the protocols, how you should act while they're speaking. Remember that for the presidential candidates rather, they each have 6 minutes to speak. You get your warning on the 5-minute mark and your time will be up by 6 minutes. The audience here, once again, please make sure that your phone is on silent or switched off so that there are no interruptions and the speakers do not lose their train of thought. The audience here should not interrupt or applaud until the aspirant is done speaking. No side talks or any form of distractions during the course of the entire manifesto, not just when anyone is speaking. Now, I'd like to welcome this presidential aspirant and his team. For VP2 on this team is Osagai Daniel Success, a 300 level student of the Department of ITE. VP1 Adeleke Amira Lolade, 300 level geophysics. And the presidential aspirant is Eze Christian Nabike from telecommunication engineering 400 level. Please make your way to the podium. You have 6 minutes.
Great Nigerian students. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, my dean and representative of the management, my fellow aspirants and my colleagues. Once upon a time in the vibrant universe of MINNA politics, a new star emerged in the vast galaxy of leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Comrade Eze Christian Nabike, popularly known as CN Galaxy, a 400-level student of Telecommunication Engineering Department and candidate for the office of the SUD President 2023-2024 administration. With me in the Galaxy ticket is Osage Daniel Success, the Vice President 2, and Lolade Amira Adeleke, the Vice President 1. Galaxy is no ordinary leader. He is a man of the people, one who had walked the same streets, faced the same challenges, and dared to dream for a brighter future. His journey is not one of overnight success. Rather, it had been a long, arduous path filled with learning, growth, and a great deal of perseverance. Before I ventured into the political landscape, I had served my university community in various capacities, ranging from 100 level till date. I've been the general class rep, School of Electrical Engineering and Technology from 100 level till date, served as Public Relations Officer at Telecommunication Engineering Department, General Secretary, Telecoms Engineering Department, General Secretary, School of Engineering Caretakers Committee, Assistant General Secretary, Student Union Government, in helping to steer the course of the union I served. Now I'm as well privileged to be the Incumbent Welfare Director 1, Student Union Government, and I'm working tirelessly to ensure the well-being of the students. These experiences had not only given me a deep understanding of my community's need, but have also equipped me with the knowledge and skills to bring about meaningful change. I knew the system, I knew the pitfalls, and most importantly, I knew the direction in which to steer this great student community. When I decided to run for office, it was not just a personal ambition, it was a calling to serve my student community in a greater capacity, a calling to bring about the change we so wish to see. My campaign is not based on grand promises, but rather it was rooted in my past experiences, and my determination to minimize trial and error. My message is crystal clear because I'm not here just to lead, but to serve. Federal University of Technology, MINNA, as we all know, had gained a renowned reputation for its outstanding prestige and qualitative products in the Chronicon and Annals of West African leading universities. However, we are not yet rid of some recurrent cankerworms and challenges which are directly and indirectly impeding the productivity of students as well as their general well-being. These issues, which the GRACE agenda wish to tackle in a hurry with the knowledge from our vast experience, include transportation, security of student lives and properties both in Boso and GK campus, accommodation both in hostels and most especially off campus, the pressing, pinching and frustrating network issues, encouragement and support of students with entrepreneurial and innovative skill. These challenges may look critical and cumbersome to tackle within the space of 1 year. However, with the ubiquitous strategic structure of governance via equibalancing and optimum division of power and responsibility, which we wish to deploy when given this great mandate, we can have multiple hands through special committees working to the achievement of the set goals simultaneously. I am not just running a campaign, but leading a dedicated movement filled with hope and bright ideas. The GRACE agenda, which stands for God's factor in the revitalization of acadosocial infrastructure, career beyond campus, and entrepreneurial enforcement, a movement that transcended politics and touched the lives of the people. I have ignited change, and I love to show that in the vast universe of politics, stars like you and I can indeed shine bright. My story is not just a political campaign, but a testament to dedication, experience, and genuine desire to serve, which a credible leader can achieve. Join one, join all, as we create a campus community where we all radiate as stars. Join the Galaxy Grace movement today and be called a star boy or a star girl. You are a star, I am a star, and together we are the Galaxy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eze Christian Nabike. He is the first presidential aspirant to speak at this manifesto today. Moving on to the next team. On this team for the Vice President 2, Jacob Ebenezer Timilein, a 200 level student of EduTech. VP1 is Rahim Faisat Faishara, Animal Production Department 300 level. And the presidential aspirant on this ticket is Onotu Emmanuel Anataku, a 400 level student of Cyber Security Department. Please make your way to the podium. You have 6 minutes.
Great Nigerian students, by the virtue of naming ceremony, I am by name Comrade Emmanuel Onotu, popularly known as Wonder, a 400 level student of Cybersecurity Science from School of Information and Communication Technology. Having served in various positions in and outside this institution, today I am standing before you to solicit for your support as your servant to be sent for maximum representation at the student union level as the president of this great institution. As your presidential candidate for the student union, I present a visionary manifesto centered on 3 key pillars, which are NEW, network stability, edutainment, and welfareism, which brings about the new agenda. Together, we will shape a campus experience that fosters growth, inclusivity, and success. Network stability. We all know that one of the major problems we have in and outside this campus is the network issues faced by every student for all 4 major service providers, MTN, Airtel, Glo, and Etisalat. I and my team had earlier taken steps to visit the state head offices of MTN, Airtel, Glo to lodge a complaint and how possible we can fix network issues, of which by God's grace we are making headway. We will collaborate with network service providers to address network issues promptly, creating a stable and reliable digital environment. Edutainment under education will improve the already existing academic standard by organizing seminars, symposiums, and workshops to bolster academic experience in every field of studies. Also fixing public address system of large lecture theater to aid hearing during lectures. Under entertainment, we will improve the sporting life and standard of this institution, working with the sport director to get a new pitch, and also other sports will be given necessary attention. replacing old ball nets, shuttles, and other sporting facilities, and also we will be able to provide new sporting activities. We will improve the social life of this institution, working with the Director of Socials to improve daytime life activities that will foster unity and growth amongst our students by reviving all social clubs on campus, as 80 to 90% of the social clubs on campus are not well known and have very few membership. Welfareism. The ultimate priority of the Students' Union is the welfare of its members, and we will pay ultimate priority to the members of this union by paying attention to transportation, accommodation, and financial support. Transportation, we will adequately work on the transportation system by providing more buses, tricycles, and bikers in and around the campus through collaboration with Niger State Transport Authority, through the Ministry of Transportation, Niger State, to provide more means of transportation for other students. Accommodation, we will fight against overhiking of accommodation off campus, and also for collaboration with external bodies to build hostels, thereby making accommodation available for students. Financial support. We will create a platform where students receive help, loans, grants from state and federal government. Also, we will try to bridge the gap between the financially buoyant students and those that are not financially buoyant to support themselves, thereby establishing a transparent and accessible fund to aid students facing financial hardship, fostering a community that cares for each other. Together, let us build a student union that champions network stability, fosters an unparalleled educational experience, and prioritize the well-being of every student. Your support will empower us to create a campus environment that truly reflects the aspiration and needs of each student. I, Emmanuel Onotu, popularly known as Wonder, is your servant. Send me. God bless the Student Union government. God bless Federal University of Technology, MINNA. God bless you. Aluta Continua Victoria Asata.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for him once again. And moving on to the next team. On this team, the VP2, Sunday Rachel Ilojo, 400 level Department of ITE. For the position of VP1 is Chuku Chioma Christian, 400 level Department of Mathematics. And the presidential candidate for this ticket is Zakaria Yusuf Akonde, 400 level Estate Management. Please make your way to the podium. Round of applause. You have 6 minutes.
And of the greatest Nigerian student. Good morning, the Dean of Student Affairs, the Savicon focal person, all other protocol are duly and well observed. Being a test of manifesto by Comrade Zakaria Yusuf Akande, popularly addressed as UZAK, the MINNA SUG 2023-2024 presidential candidate, I humbly bring you atonement to the corridor, enriched with undiluted humility, branded with fervent sincerity of purpose, and prepared with delicacies of selflessness, with the idea of malice to none, concentrated passion to all, imbued with high level of political sagacity, academic ingenuity, and social dexterity. A wise man once said, information without introduction is nothing but obnoxious calamity. My name remains Comrade Zakaria Yusuf Akande, politically addressed as UZAK. I am a student of School of Environmental Technology, Department of Estate Management and Valuation, 400 level. Based on my experience in youth development, leadership training, years of studying and diagnosing our challenges, and years of tested and proven ideology, and proper consultation to my leaders, fellow comrades, and friends, I, Comrade Zakaria Yusuf Akande UZAK, have come up with the vision of the SWAG agenda, a long-time feasible ideology. The SWAG agenda is the agenda that is bettered of our passion to develop our university to its deserved place. The SWAG agenda is the agenda that stands for the security, the welfareism, accountability and transparency, games and entertainment. On our security, it is a known fact that the security challenges facing by the students of this university is becoming alarming day in, day out. So as us, we have taken it upon ourselves to face these security challenges squarely by giving proper monitoring to the security unit of the university and other security apparatus in town. Also, on our agenda,
is the issue of welfareism. On our welfareism agenda, we have three main factors that we are looking at, which is the issue of accommodation, the transportation, and the network stability. On our accommodation issue, in a university of over 23,000 students, we only have accommodation for over 4,000 students. These have been a very big challenge to our students and the entire community. But on our agenda here, we are planning and wish, in conjunction with the university management, to approach the real estate developers in town so as to partner with them and bring in reasonable development into our university by introduction of what we call the private hostel scheme. This private hostel scheme is where these developers will develop some properties, such as those properties are the off-campus of the university, and these properties will be under the control of the developers without being passing through back to the university management, only for them to be paying lease rent annually to the university. This again will be calling in some profit into the university purse, so that the university itself will be generating some income through the land, the fast land that we have. Also, in our agenda is the issue of transportation. It is a known fact that our transportation scheme in this university, we have over 23,000 students, and our transportation unit have less than 100 transports. On this, we are planning of approaching some private transportation company. This private transportation company will provide us with some shuttles, which will be under the control of the student union, while the transport company will be the one to be getting their income directly without any blockage from anywhere. With this, we believe that it will be much more easier to control the price of transportation and stop the hike in the price of transportation from the front of school to on campus of our university. And as such, if there is adequate transportation system, students coming from hostel will be able to get transportation to their classroom easily and conveniently. On the issue of our network stability, we all know that the network in our Gida Kwano campus is nothing to write home about. The SWAG agenda team, we are planning of having deliberation with the network providers like MTN, the Airtel, the Etisalat, and others, so that they will provide masks in our university community to enhance the stability of our network. On the issue of accountability and transparency, the SWAG agenda, we are coming with the idea of having at least 2 congresses in a semester. These congresses is where students can table their ideas, their advice, and relate their issue, the challenges they are facing in the campus, with the student union government directly, without being the fear of maybe attack or whatever from anybody. The other part of our manifesto is the games and entertainment. On the game of and entertainment, we all understand the fact that the 2 schools coming from Boso campus have mounted a lot of pressure on our existing pitch. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for him. And now for the next team running for the presidency of the Student Union of Federal University of Technology. For VP2 on that team is Sado Zakari, a 400 level student of ITE. VP1, Abiola Khadija Tiyola of Chemistry Department 400 level. And for the presidency on that ticket is Pius Omojade Stephen, 400 level WAF.
And of the greatest Nigerian students, greatest footmites, I bring you greetings in the course of our citadel building, with the idea of malice to none, concentrated passion for all, imbued with high level of political sagacity, academic ingenuity, and social dexterity. It is with sincerity of purpose, I, Ambassador Pius Omojade Stephen, a 400 level student of the Department of Water Resources, Aquaculture and Fisheries Technology, School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology, wishes to
officially announce my candidacy for the post of the Student Union President, Federal University of Technology, MINNA, Niger State. Introducing the Brother Shaggy Smart Agenda, a 5-point agenda for a brighter future. 1. Student welfareism and security, where we tend to protect the lives and properties of our students through shared partnership with the university management, landlords, and security agencies across MINNA Metropole. On welfareism, we divided it into transportation, accommodation, primary health care, and internet stability. On transportation, we tend to build a memorandum of understanding with different transportation agencies, both private and government, where we increase our shuttles that run inter-campus service from Boso to GK. And on reducing the congestion at our school gate, I intend to partner with Tricycle Association of Niger State, where we get more tricycles to reduce the congestion at our school gate. And as union leaders, we work directly with the management and the commercial committee to see how we can get a reduction in registration price. On accommodation, like the economists will always say, when the demand is high, definitely the price will be high. We intend to ensure that landlords are registered under the university management so as to be able to be supervised by the university management. This cannot be achieved by just the union and the university management. It needs everybody on board, both the student community. Would also, on accommodation, we also ensure that we partner with investors, real estate company, to see how we can increase our accommodation both on and off campus. On primary health care, we work closely with the university management and the medical director of our university clinic to ensure that we get the required medical facilities on our university clinic so as to be able to carry out their duties effectively. On internet stability, we work with telecommunication companies to see how we can increase our network mass in especially off campus and see how we can ensure that we have good internet supply. Mentorship and human capacity building. My administration will not only focus on academic, we will ensure that students are built and prepared for life after school through a series of seminars, symposiums, skills acquisition, and talent hunts, aim at building the capacity of our students and preparing them for life after school. We as union leader will facilitate grants for students with ideas to build on these grants and ideas to ensure that they are better off than the way they used to be. Academic pro excellence will work directly with the academic planning committee to ensure that the university make policies on academic that are favorable to our students. 1. 2, we ensure and propose a 3-semester in a year to ensure that our academic calendars are fast. 3, due to the economic hardship, we propose a summer semester where students will carry over, may not necessarily wait till next year to write their carryover, but they can write these exams during the break. This will reduce the waiting year of our students. Revenue generation. When going to office, you see people with beautiful ideas but are unable to execute all these ideas due to financial instability. Our administration will not only depend on just the internally generated revenue from student dues to execute all the union's activities. We would work hand in hand and attract investors to come and invest in our school where we get commissions from these investments. 1, we will raise a fundraising campaign to get finance to execute part of the union's activities. And C, transparency and government of inclusiveness. My administration plan on running a transparent government where every student will be part of the decision making of the union. We intend to run an open governance policy where there will be congress at every month where students are advised to air out their ideas on how the union is supposed to be run. And also finally, inclusiveness. My administration intends to carry every student along, irrespective of your tribe, religion, affiliation, and strata. Every student will be given that sense of belonging that you are part of the union. It will not just be a union of just I am my executive, but a union of the student, by the student, and for the student. It is at this juncture, J, Operation O times T, I say Aluta Continua Victoria Asata.
And it's starting to get really intense here. So now for the last team running for the office of president for the student union for this session, for the next session rather. VP 2 on that team, Joshua Nanret Mercy, 300 level ITE. VP 1, Lego Victoria Adi, microbiology 300 level. And the person holding the presidential ticket for that team is Saidu Ahmad Bello, a 400 level student of the Department of Urban and Regional Planning. Please make your way to the podium.
Good morning, wise Nigerian students. My name is Senator Saidu Ahmad Bello, popularly known as Senator, a 400 level student of the Department of Urban and Regional Planning Department, School of Environmental Technology. Having served in different capacity at departmental level, state association, national association, and religious affairs, I am standing before you today to inform you and to seek for your support that I, Senator Saidu Ahmad Bello, will be vying for the position of SUG President with the WISE Agenda team, a 4-point agenda targeted at bringing up our institution to a greater height. What does the WISE Agenda stand for? W for welfareism improvement, I for improved academics and skill pursuit, S for solid partnership with state government and relevant authority, and lastly E for entertainment through art and sport, and efficient governance through transparency and accountability. Why do we align our agenda in this format? As economics taught us, when you have plenty needs, you arrange them in their order of priority, which is known as the scale of preference. And because we recognize welfareism of our students as the #1 priority, if the welfareism of our students is not well taken care of, how can we be able to talk about their primary reason why they are in university? And that is why we start with welfareism improvement. How do we intend to improve the welfareism of our students? #1, through security. When we talk about security, we talk about security on campus and security off campus. How do we intend to improve the security on campus? We are going to liaise together with the security management and security unit of the school, and also the school management. The challenges the security team are facing, we are going to hear from them and let the school management know of them. And also we are going to tell them where we feel that they should perform better, and any form of support that our government can be able to give to them, and also seek from the school management. We'll do our best in doing that. And also we are going to recommend to the school that they should make provision for security lights outside every building in the university. Now going back to off campus, we are going to work together with the community members, the local vigilante, and the police divisional quarters to see how we can be able to upgrade the security services off campus. We are going to make a lot of suggestions to them and tell them to increase on their workforce. We are also going to liaise with the state government to see how they can be able to improve on these security services off campus. And lastly, suggest to them to have security light outside their lodges and commercial centers especially, and liaise with the senators and House of Rep representing the constituency to make provision for street light. Now, let's go to the second point on our welfareism improvement, which is health and sanitation. On the aspect of health and sanitation, we intend to work together with the school medical team, as well as many other teams like the NHIS, UNICEF, and Ministry of Health, Niger State, to see how we can be able to upgrade the services of health on our campus. Also, part of what we intend to do is to go to these organizations and seek from them to organize some programs that will prevent the spread of diseases on our campus. We also intend to bring up programs that are going to minimize and reduce the rate of drug abuse on our campus. Thirdly, on welfareism is improved transport scheme. What do we intend to do on the aspects of improved transport scheme? We intend to liaise with the Niger State Ministry of Transportation, the Niger State Transport Authority, and many other private companies in charge of transportation for them to come and invest in the school transportation. And after investing, we are also going to ensure that the prices that are going to be attached to these transport services are going to be at minimal and affordable rate. Also, on the aspect of transportation, we intend to come up with an online booking platform to help our students in accessing transportation services fastly. The online booking platform, we are having two options. The first option is to go by an online app, which I'm currently working with a team to see how we can be able to do that. If that will cost the university much, then we intend to improvise. And how do we intend to improvise? By having a channel through our social media, either WhatsApp
or Telegram where students can be able to make this booking. And how we intend to operate is when you have lecture by 9 o'clock, by 7 a.m., booking stop, and 8 a.m., the buses take off, and we'll have reservation in case any bus develop fault. Lastly, on welfareism is proper access to public utilities and services. Now, I go to the second point, improve academic and skill pursuit. We believe that after we have been able to take care of the welfareism of our students, we'll now go into academics. What do we intend to do? Organizing academic seminar, symposium, debate, and quiz competition to boost our student academic morale, and also to supply them with skills that are going to assist them in the school and also beyond the campus life. As for solid partnership with relevant authority and state government. As you can refer back to my debut in my WISE agenda, we were mentioning many other things that we intend to work with because we cannot do it alone. The fund is not available. And lastly, entertainment through arts and sport. What do we intend to do? We intend to work together with the Director of Social and the Director of Sport to come up with teams that are going to set up programs that are going to be able to bring out the potential of our students in terms of art and their sportsmanship. And lastly, efficient governance through transparency and accountability by organizing Congress and having...
Thank you very much. So with that, we've come to the end of the manifesto part of this program. All the 5 presidential aspirants have spoken. Now we'll be moving on to a question session. It will be directed at all of the presidential candidates. So we're going to set up so that all 5 of you, just the presidential candidates, can come up here. And the audience can direct questions at each of them. Now, please, all of your questions need to be constructive. Do not ask pointedly attacking questions. Your questions are going to be directed at all of the presidential candidates. And each of these aspirants reserve the right to respond or to not respond to any of the questions. Yeah, so we'll be moving on to that shortly. So please, I'd like the presidential aspirants to make their way forward.
Campus Radio.
Please don't forget, we need to all be civil here. So if you have a question, let's people who have questions, let's see your hands up. 1. Okay, can the rest of the presidential teams, VP1 and VP2 aspirants, if you can just come and stand behind the presidential candidates, please. Please make your way forward. Yeah, so that gentleman has a question. Does any other person have a question, please? Okay, 2, 3. Okay, we'll just start, and then as time permits, we'll see whether we're going to be adding any questions. Okay, so please, you just start with your name. We'll start with your name, your department, and then you proceed with your question. Possible, please.
Studying is Senator Toa Abdelkabir from School of Environmental Technology. My question goes thus: all of the aspirants claim they've held an office before. I want to ask their achievements so far in all the offices they've held.
So one after the other. Okay, as you're arranged, let's start from Saidu Ahmad Bello.
Thank you very much for that question. I served as PRO of my department. I've served as PRO NANI's National Headquarter Convention, ELCOM. I've served as Senator representing School of Environmental Technology. But there's no time to say all. I'll just say the little that you need to go and verify. As a senator, you know I'm just supposed to be a lawmaker. But I extended beyond my office, and I ensure I facilitated for better affairism for our students. On the aspect of being a senator, 1, I'm always in touch with the school management and the directors in charge to ensure that our public toilets are open, grasses around the campus are being cut, and also as a senator, formerly School of Environmental Technology, we have issues of power outage. I went to the Director of Works and Maintenance, and with me and in collaboration with the Dean of the faculty, we ensure that these lights were brought back. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your question. Personally, aside appointment, I've held 2 offices, and the first was the PRO at my faculty level. And in 2019 and 20, while I was the PRO of the Eagles faculty, we were able to reform the information system as well as introducing the Eagles Watch, where NASITE gets information on a daily basis and weekly basis. And in 21 and 22, I serve as the Union Welfare Director 1. And during my service as the Union Welfare Director 1, I organized the first, single-handedly for a welfare director to organize a program. I organized the first ever health summit, where students were tested, treated, counseled for free. This was done without zero funding from the union, the university management, or the unions, or the student union community. When I was the welfare director 1, after the 8-month strike, I was able to liaise with landlord, the community held of Gidankwanu to waive the 8-month rent for students. It was the first of its kind. 95% of students in Gidankwanu can attest to that fact. When I was the welfare director 1, there were issues regarding water supply in the hostel. Of course, I was serving under a very capable president, Aluta Coded. We were able to go to Upper River Basin to solicit for a pipe-borne water, which is now situated and is perfectly working at King's Corner, close to the hostel. Also, when I was the welfare director 1, I was able to meet with the Commissioner of Transport and the Permanent Secretary for a need for more shuttles on our campus. Although I couldn't achieve that before the end of my administration, but of recent I could see information coming from the new administration that this ministry wants partnership with the university management and the union. Of course, when I was the welfare director 1, there was a time when there was almost 8 months blackout. I was able to meet with senator representing this senatorial district, Senator Musa Sani, and also the AEDC regional office to get a 500 kVA transformer for Gidankwanu. Although I didn't get it before the end of my administration, but when the president came, he consulted me to my progress so far, which I told him. And of course, I received a call like 2 to 3 months back that the transformer was ready. I should facilitate the means to bring the transformer. And I can proudly say today, Gidankwanu have lights. Thank you very much.
That was the response from Comrade Pius Omojade Stephen. Please, let's not forget that while the aspirants are speaking, try as much as possible. No side talk, no interruptions. Thank you very much. Let's move on now to Eze Christian Nabike.
Thank you very much for that question. Let me start from my office as the General Class Rep, School of Engineering, Electrical Engineering from 111 till date. At that grassroots level, I was able to do certain things that seemed beyond the capacity of just a general class rep. When I resumed that office as a general class rep, School of Engineering, I was meant to understand that students or the lecturers are not supposed to give out materials to students due to the recurrent or the former issues that occurred where some students commercialize materials. And looking at a class of over 1,500 students, which I am the general class rep, I discovered that apart from the first 3 rows of the class, the rest are as good as not being present due to the unavailability of public address system and lack of materials. Some of the lecturers will just teach and most of the students will not hear them or even see the board. On that, I made moves to different departments. Then physics, chemistry, maths, English, and statistics were situated at Boso before they were brought down to GK. I went to complain and ask why we are not eligible to get materials from the lecturers. And I was told the reason. And I wrote a letter to them. And in that letter, I made it known to them that I'm taking a stake to ensure that the materials are going to be well guarded such that nobody can commercialize them and students will be able to get them at the photocopy rate at a particular photocopy stand. And on that, because of that letter written directly to the HOD of all these departments, I was giving those materials. And for most of you who are in 400 level or even 300 level, School of Engineering, Agric, Environmental, and SICT, you discover that during that regime, you get materials that are written Galaxy authenticated. And at that time, almost all the materials that concerns physics, chemistry, math, statistics, English, and even GSC 103 were all Galaxy authenticated. The essence of that was based on the stake I took to ensure that those materials were not going to be commercialized. And because of that, students had access to materials. Secondly, at 200 level, we were divided into two streams. One stream at PTDF and the other at LT1. But then, the students, the number were bigger or much more than the capacity of those buildings. PTDF is a 250 seating capacity lecture theatre, while LT1 is a 300 seating capacity lecture theatre. And at 200 level, we were 1,250. And at that point, the students were beyond those capacities. I wrote to the Dean of School of Infrastructure Process Engineering and Technology, Professor Mrs. Zinash D. Osunde, and to the Dean of School of Electrical Engineering and Technology, Professor Mrs. Elizabeth Onwuka, that an intervention needs to be done immediately on this issue, as students are not even getting the opportunity to listen or understand during lecture. And I made two requests, of which at least one should be met immediately. One was to increase the capacity building, and then the other was to provide public address system if the initial cannot be met. And then upon writing those letters, I took it to them, and I was meant to understand by those deans that building lecture theatres is not just a small deal. It's not something of 1 month, 2 months, or even a year. It's something that has to go through processes. But that which is urgent and immediate, they can meet. And in that regard, in less than 2 weeks, they bought 2 public address systems, and I was invited to see them and confirm them, which our students use, and it improved the productivity of their learning. That is for the grassroots level. I served as Assistant General Secretary Student Union Government 2021-2022 session during Ambassador Shaibu Ishak Yaya, popularly known as Aluta Coded. And as an Assistant General Secretary, based on constitutional provision, I'm obligated to assist the General Secretary in secretariat matters, as well as even going beyond the constitutional provision to advocate for student rights. And in that regard, we wrote letters. The water that was brought to hostel, we wrote letters to the senators, and most of the things that was bought. Now, as the welfare director, there are a lot of achievements which is visible to us all. This is the first time in history where we organize off-campus cleanup. We organize that event not just to improve the sanitary health and state of off-campus, but as well to enhance harmony between the immediate community and students. That is number one. Secondly, this is the first time where we had a written agreement between the student union and transport operators. In the past, I've been a member of the welfare committee over the years, and I've discovered that it has just been a verbal meeting where immediately after the meeting, those people compromise the agreement. But during this administration, we had a written agreement with the tricycle, motorcycle operators, and we had a standardized price which they maintain. As well, we organized an effective hostel cleanup exercise, which was the first of its kind, the hostel sanitation and sensitization campaign, of which the Dean of Student Affairs, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Admin, Professor Unoyi Uno, were invited, and the students aired their complaint on the needs and challenges of the hostel, which most of them were catered for. As well, on security, we synergized with police and local vigilantes. We've had a series of meetings, and we've planted spies off campus to take note of students who, those students who cause insecurity off campus. And in the course of those, we've been able to reduce the rate of insecurity. You all can bear witness that Boso campus have been brought down to GK, which is supposed to increase the rate of insecurity due to the fact that the student number here is more and they are less there in Boso, making the insecurity in Boso to as well come down here. But then due to our commitment and synergy with the police and the community vigilante, we're able to bring this to a very minimal level. There are many of them. On commercial activities, quality, quantity, and price control, we had a standard written agreement, and all prices and quality of goods were regulated and checked. Thank you very much. Let me put a stop here.
Now let's move on to Comrade Onotu Emmanuel Anataku for his response to that question. One house, please.
Thank you very much for the question. I would say I've not contributed much in the school politically or aside politics, because before now I've been focusing more on external affairs outside school matters. But in the school here, if I'm to say what I have contributed, I have helped in diverse ways in this welfareism of the students, in skill acquisitions, and sports and entertainment generally. I have been able to contribute a lot, quite a lot. Before now, even before this session, I think this session alone, I've been able to cross the threshold of which I had done in the previously before my 400 level in general. That's from 100 level to 300 level. I have been able to help both so many events. Thank you very much.
And now for the final candidate to respond to that question, Zakaria Yusuf Akonde.
Thank you. Firstly, in 2020-2021 academic session, I served as the special advisor to NESA President, the School of Environmental Technology President, Comrade Heritage, as the special advisor on student welfareism, where I gave him the advice that the welfareism of our students, especially the students that always run TDB in school, is very, very paramount to us. And as such, the issue of blackout in the School of Environmental need to be tackled, where we brought up the idea of providing the School of Environmental with solar light. If you check the ground floor of School of Environmental today, you see that each and every classroom there have 2 solar lights each inside them. As the student union PRO of the university, I ensure that information get across to all levels, all classes, and all departments in the university through getting the contact of each and every one of the class representatives and their assistants, so that the student that doesn't have the Android phone to at least receive the information directly from the union will get the information from their class representative or the assistant. I also extend my service, as we all know that the office of the PRO is to make publicity for the student union events and others, but I ensure that my own is different by working hand in hand and closely with all other executives to ensure that I get first-hand information directly from the source without sitting back at the 4 corners of my room and expecting feedback from them. I work with the office of the president directly, where we announce the issue of we tackle the issue of the water scarcity in the hostel, where I supervise the provision, the digging, and the installation of the borehole beside the Shehu Aliyu hostel, facilitated by Senator Idaku from Abuja. The Dean of Student Affairs here can bear witness to that. And also, I ensure
one house, please.
I ensure that as the student union PRO, I provide notice board to all schools. I made the faculties in the Gidan Kwano campus, since the university is planning to move all faculties back to Gidan Kwano campus. The School of Physical Science, the School of Life Science, School of Engineering, School of Environmental, and School of Agriculture will provide notice board to all these schools, so as to ensure that students stop the habit of pasting posters on our walls and glasses. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, moving forward for the other questions we have a time factor to take into consideration. So from now on, each of the aspirants, you will have 1 minute each to respond to every question. For the next cycle of responses, we'll be starting from that end this time. There was a gentleman behind there. Okay. No, there was someone else behind there. Okay, sorry. There was. Yeah. He wasn't the one. He wasn't the one. Okay, so please, your question is directed at all of the candidates. Your turn will come, please.
Good morning, everyone present here. My name is Comrade Hunjat Tobiolua Daniel, popularly called Mamodona, the current president, Nigerian Association of Agricultural Students, School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology. Now, I'm standing here not as a politician, but as a student of Federal University of Technology, MINNA, to ask the presidential candidate, what are your plans for to work with the local community? In terms, we had issues earlier on of manhood theft, other related issues that give us a concern, because it's has to do with the student welfareism also. Secondly, I'll also ask the presidential candidates, what are your plans with each of the schools present in Federal University of Technology? Because we've had experience. My other presidential candidates, my other presidents from other school can bear me witness of not being carrying us along. We had several times where conclusions would have been made without our consent. So what are your plans in addressing those challenges?
Before you go on with that, just to emphasize, remember they have a time limit now to respond to the questions. So if you interrupt your candidate, you're not doing him well. You're causing him more harm than good. So please.
Thank you, my brother. On that question, on how we want to create relationship with the host community of the university, in the SWAG agenda, we have the plan of having a town hall meeting between the student community and the host community, whereby we'll be able to relate, interact with the host community, the youth in the host community, to ensure that there will be a cordial relationship within the both the youth of the host community and the students. And on the issue of how we want to treat the faculties under the student union, as we all know, I served under the leadership of Ambassador Swaib Isaka Yaya. Then we ensure that all faculties, all schools leaders were carried along. In fact, the department executives were carried along. I was the one that created the platform for everyone, so that we have discussion within ourselves to know the challenges department faculties are facing, so that the union will be able to tackle all those challenges. This will be put in place in our government. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. With the host committee, I think with that, we are supposed to have, we will have a roundtable meeting with the chairman or the representative of the host committees outside the school, to be able to negotiate with them and get to a consensus on the student welfareism and security, because they are our eyes outside of the school. So regardless of what the problems or challenges that we are having, they're the only ones who could actually give the responsibilities to watch the affairs of the students and get feedback from them. And regarding to the faculty presidents, I think it is very necessary for the student union government to work with each of the faculty presidents, because for you to be able to address any issue at the ground level, there are protocols that have to be observed.
Okay, thank you very much. I will be answering your question based on our past antecedents. Just like you've observed, working closely with the host community is a very important factor to be able to facilitate the unity and progress of our student community. But then the question is how? I mentioned in the course of my answering one of the questions that we organized an off-campus cleanup. In the course of carrying out those cleanup, some of the community members came. They wanted to offer us money. We rejected the money. We told them we're not doing it for money. It was a voluntary exercise just to harmonize the community and the students. And those people were very, very happy to see that students who they see all the time as big boys and big girls can actually condescend to come in to clean their community. That gave them a very good perspective of students. And in that area, it is going to harmonize the students and the community. Secondly, also, one of my colleagues mentioned.
Thank you, Comrade Mamadona, for your question. It is very important for me to state that Kidankwano as a community is privileged to host Federal University of Technology, MINNA, Niger State. And as part of our social corporate responsibility, not just the management, but also the student union government, we ought to facilitate projects to the community to strengthen our relationship with the community. Projects like the union can go to secondary school in the hosting community to donate ordinary books to the students. That alone will strengthen the unity of the student union government and the community. And we and the students in the hosting community will live peacefully. And secondly, to your other question, I intend carrying other faculties along. You may recall that there is inclusivity in my agenda. And before I was a student of Agric, I was first a footmate. That is why if I am elected, I intend to create faculty ambassadors who will stand as intermediary between myself and other faculty to get feedback from them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In the aspect of cooperating with the host community, I don't just intend to cooperate with the Gideon Kwano host community, but we have many other student environments, Gideon Kwano, Gideon Mangoro, Dama, and many others. What we intend to do is to have a forum whereby we are going to have discussions with them and also organize some programs that they are going to benefit directly from by organizing some health talks program and many other programs and football match that are going to engage the youth and simulate that relationship between the youth and the student. Secondly, on the aspect of the faculty president, if you refer back to my agenda, efficient governance through transparency and accountability, what we intend to do is to have a campus leadership forum whereby all class rep, all faculty executive and departmental executive are going to be included, as well as other relevant stakeholders within the school, whereby we are going to tell them what we have to say.
Thank you very much. Before we go on, let's give our presidential aspirant a round of applause. Okay, so I will be taking 2 questions. I see you, bro. I see you. Okay, I saw a lady. Let's do gender equity here. So, okay, I'll bring the mic to you. I'm sorry. Please introduce yourself first before.
My name is Comrade Yusuf Omotosho, popularly known as Sekan. My question goes like this. What will be your leave a legacy when you are elected? Thank you.
The response will start with you. CN Galaxy, Eze Christian Nabike. We'll start with you for a response.
Thank you very much for the question. This is the Grace team agenda, and our Leave a Legacy project at the end of the administration is going to be subject primarily to the collective idea of every member of the executive, as the government is not just going to be a sole proprietorship government, but a government that includes everybody. But right now, there are basic things that we would want to make sure we leave at the end of our administration, which is, first, we need a student union secretariat, as well as we need revenue streams, businesses that are going to be making money into the union account at least before the end of the administration, so that other administration that comes in can leverage on those opportunities and build their ideas. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. This movement, we're coming with a new agenda tagged NEW, and there are 2 legacies that we want to leave. And it is pretty obvious from the N in the new agenda, which represent the network issues. Fixing the network issues on the campus will be a permanent solution that cannot be downgraded, but can only be upgraded over time, and it will affect the future generations of the footmites, even after every single one of us here have left. The second legacy that we're planning to leave is the Student Union Secretariat, laying a foundation for the land, in the land that has been allocated for the Student Union, for the future generation of Student Union government to be able to build on it, or if we can get external investors during the time of the administration to complete the structure for us.
Thank you very much for that question. My Leave a Legacy project, firstly, will be on how to create an avenue for the union to generate income. The union that is not financially independent cannot stand on its own. So for us to have a union that is financially independent, we are going to have a student union venture, which by the special grace of God, we are planning to situate it around the School of Life Science and School of Physical Science to ease the difficulties of the students from that end in getting some basic needs like the stationaries, the water and other things like that. And also the Leave a Legacy, the rest of the Leave a Legacy of our agenda would be decided at the Congress of the Union. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. It is very important for me to note that as someone who have been in the union before, the Leave a Legacy project is not a project for just the union president, and I am a lover of teamwork. It is a collective decision that is supposed to be made with me and all my executive. So I cannot be exact by this moment. But I want you to know that the Leave a Legacy project will be centered on my agenda, the SMART agenda, which cut across student welfareism, security, capacity building, academic excellence, revenue generation, and transparency. Thank you very much.
Just as the question goes, it says Leave a Legacy project. The Leave a Legacy project is something that is going to be subjected to the campus leadership forum, whereby we are going to have an inner room discussion on what we are going to do. But there are some services which I'm going to ensure that in my government we ensure that we tackle. Number one, network stability. Number two, improved transport scheme. And thirdly, proper access to public utilities, especially the institution toilet facilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Saidu Ahmad Bello. Now, it's because of the sake of, I understand that everybody has, a lot of people have questions here, but we're working with time here, and so we're only going to take that last question. So, please introduce yourself, and then you go ahead to ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is that how do you intend, I'm by name Aisha Ogri, from School of Environmental Technology. How do you intend to balance political activeness with students' academic performance in the school? Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you look at the match of our WISE agenda tickets, you will see that all of us there, we are active politicians, active leaders, and if you even take a look at our GP, you are going to see that we are all 4-pointers. Why did we come up with this match? Is to motivate the student that politics, school politics and academic are exclusively mutual. In the sense that as you are participating in politics, it should not hinder you from prioritizing your academics. And that is why we are, as student union leaders and politicians, we still deem it fit to face our academics. And part of our ticket, we even have a first-class student. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that question. You may recall that the A in my SMART agenda is academic excellence. In as much as the union will be working tirelessly to ensure that the university creates an enabling environment with facilities that promote academic excellence for our students, we're going to be facilitating academic symposium, which is aimed at striking a balance for our students between their political life and their academic life on campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I believe that question is targeted to the candidate itself, how we intend to balance our academics and the union activities. If you observe my stay in campus, from my inception, from the first day I stepped my feet in this campus until date, every year I've been holding an office and be contesting for another office. The essence of all this is to gather the vast experience needed for this particular office. But then in all of those political activities, it is barely just not less than 2 times or 3 times that I've written a GP less than 4.0. From my inception, I've always been holding one office and contesting for another office in the same year. Regardless, I've always maintained a very good academic standard. And it is with this standard as well I wish to translate to the university community, where students can learn to balance their academics and other activities which they intend to venture into. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. One of the characteristics of a leader is time balancing, and it is something that every single candidate here is supposed to know before coming to this podium, that with the responsibility that you're taking on, balancing the primary purpose of us coming to the school with the activities, the political activities and affairs, that will be the challenges that we'll be facing and the problem solving, the time distraction and every single thing that we'll be facing. It is part of our responsibility to be able to balance every single thing together, to be able to achieve efficient and optimal results, both in the academics and in the political affairs.
Thank you for that question. To balance the academic and the political activism of the students, in our welfareism agenda in the SWAG team, we are planning to foster the academic excellence of our students through organization of timely tutorials every weekend in the university, both in Gidankwano campus and Busu campus. This, we believe, will enhance and ensure the students of our university, while still participating in political activities during the day, the evening time that they use to attend the tutorials will assist them in performing excellently in their academic activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A very big round of applause for the presidential aspirants and their vice presidents. Please, come on now. Come on now. A round of applause. So, while the vice presidents make their way back to their seat, I'd like to welcome the campaign managers for each of these presidential aspirants. And so, Abdusalam Lawal Onikbe for Pius Omojade, Abubakar Guda Musa for Eze Christian Nabike, Olaleye King David Oluwaseyi sorry, who's this? Please make your way forward. And Ahmed Isa for Zakaria Yusuf, Ahmed Bakogi for Saidu Ahmed Bello. Okay, seems like we have just 3 available. Okay, so where's the 4th person? Please make your way forward as fast as possible. Please, let's all save each other time. Thank you. So each of you have 1 minute. One house, please. Each of you have 1 minute to tell the students of the Federal University of Technology, MINNA, why they should vote for your candidate on Saturday. So I'll start with you.
Good afternoon, great Nigeria student. The normal lecture still remain Comrade Senator Abubakar Ahmed Bakogi, Nanis President Futimna, chapter the DG to Senator Ahmed Saidu Bello. The reason why you should vote for Senator Ahmed Saidu Bello, Senator Ahmed Saidu Bello comprises of all the qualities of a good leader, is competent, is hardworking, is dedicated, and is trustworthy. Is outspoken, is someone that is always ready to fight for the rights of the student. Thank you.
And now to the campaign manager for Pius Omojade, Abdusalam Lawal Onikbe.
Greatest Nigerian students, all protocols duly observed. My name is Lawal Abdusalam Onipe, a 500 level student of School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology, the privileged Director General of the Brother Shaggy campaign team. Pius Omojade Stephen, aka Brother Shaggy, has served in various capacities, starting from his level, school, and student union at large. He has vast experience in setting the shape of student union government to its peak, and also setting pace for others to follow. The campaign manifesto is simply SMART agenda, which is student welfareism and security, mentorship and human capacity building, academic par excellence, revenue generation, transparency, and government inclusion. On this note, I would like to solicit to every footmite for their support and vote come this Saturday, 2nd of December 2023. At this junction J, Operation O, time T, I say Aluta Continua, Victoria Asata.
And now to Mr. Abubakar Guda Musa.
One of the greatest Nigerian students. My name is Abubakar Guda Musa, the 400 level telecommunication engineering student. 400 level telecommunication engineering student. The reason why I will urge all the students to come and vote for Eze Christian Galaxy, popularly known as Galaxy, is because he have served, he have competence, he have the capacity to lead the union to the betterment of tomorrow. Thank you.
And now to Olaleye King David Oluwaseyi.
Greatest Nigerian students. I'm from SICT 400 level cybersecurity science. Being realistic about this, I would want to say it to myself and to everybody here. Why do we need Wonder as SCG president? Being realistic, what's happening here in GK? We have network issues, we have several things ranging all. So coming to that point, this is something that even I myself, being in his campaign team, I'm wowed, I'm floored by what he does, because he's being selfless about everything. Okay, he goes to the depth of going to network service providers, going to their office, soliciting, okay, this is GK, see my students, they are having issues, and if anybody here can give me that, sincerely I'll go for that person. But Wonder is giving me that, so I'm telling you, Wonder is messaging. Thank you very much.
And now to the Campaign Manager for Zakaria Yusuf, Ahmed Isa.
Good morning, everyone. Standing in front of you is the physical appearance of Comrade Ahmed Isa, popularly known as Salota Prof, the DG of SWAG movement. Of course, we all here have heard the agenda of the SWAG from Comrade Zakaria Yusuf himself, and I believe with what he has said in his agenda, everyone here, as well as every student of this institution, is convinced that USAC is the most competent to become the next student union government of MINNA. USAC is not just a competent. USAC has served in various capacity. He has served in the faculty, and during his service in the faculty, he has did greatly well. He served the union as a PRO, and I believe to date, we have not produced a student union PRO who has executed a physical project like Zakaria Yusuf Akonde. So I urge you also to please, on Saturday, come out in mass to support Zakaria Yusuf Akonde for SUG president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So a very big round of applause for all the presidential aspirants and their campaign managers as they make their way to their seats. Before the next item on the agenda, I would like to thank members of the audience for being very respectful for the entirety, for the most part anyway, for the entirety of the manifesto. So please, a round of applause for yourselves, please. Next, I would like to invite to speak the Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Bashir Ganiu, as he comes to give a goodwill message. Please, a round of applause.
Of the greatest Nigerian student, Kulu Kulu. Thank you very much. The chairman of SWEC, Professor A.Y. Kabir, that is our own able and capable Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. The representative of the CSO, Alaji Wasiri. The Search Media team, the manager and the entire crew of Search FM. The representative of the director QAP, Mr. Anderson, and other Savicom brigade here present, the contestants, and the greatest Nigerian students. I appreciate the presence of each and every one of you here today, and the decorum and the way and manner through which that you have exhibited during this entire manifesto program. And I also want to salute the confidence and the courage and the competence of all the aspirants. It shows that, yes, we have a very bright future ahead of us. So I want to appeal to all our students that please on Saturday come out and exercise your civic responsibility to your own constituent by electing any of these aspirants to lead you for the coming academic session. That is 2023-2024 academic session. So on this note, I thank all of you for making it here today, and I wish you well in the election on Saturday. Thank you very much.
A very big round of applause for the Dean of Student Affairs. And next, I'd like to welcome the chairman of the Student Union of SWEC. I'm sorry, I skipped on the actual name, but I'd like to welcome Professor A.Y. Yakubu. You're welcome, sir.
You better come out, if you know come out, your body go tell you. Your papa no dey here, your mama no dey here. If you die, you die for nothing. Oh, zero your mind. Oh, zero your mind. Money no dey while day. After struggle, money go. I know the greatest king. You are a leader. You are
Thank you very much. I am elated by the fact that this year we are having a very large number of contestants, especially for the presidency. They say the more the merrier. And we could see that the presentations were merrier than what we used to have. We have a Miss Grill. And on our part, the Student Union Independent Electoral Committee, we want to assure you, like we have always done, we will be committed to a transparent, fair, and free election. The mechanism for the election ensures that your votes count. This is an assurance from me as the chairman, and on behalf of other members of the committee, we will guarantee a free and fair election. On the part of contestants, like we have always done over the years, at the end of this interaction, we want you to deposit in our office, specifically my office, a letter of commitment to be peaceful before, during, and after the election. All presidential teams must write this letter, signed by your vice presidents, and that should reach my office before the end of the day. A letter committing yourself to the fact that you are going to conduct yourself well in a peaceful manner. Other officers will equally write. Even if you are unopposed, we still want to have a letter of commitment from your office. As a way of announcement, a bus will be available on 2nd December as early as 7 a.m. in Boso to convey whoever wants to come in here to vote free of charge. And we want to encourage voters, especially those from Boso, and even those that are on GK campus, to come early, vote early, and leave for your comfort zone. We don't want to see students milling around the e-voting center after voting. The moment you vote, you can leave. At the end of the day, in your room, you will get to hear the results. I know after results we want to jubilate, but this jubilation should be in a way that will not cause mayhem. We have never had it bad, and we hope that this year will not be different. We also want to assure you that immediately after the voting, which is 5 p.m., the system will close, we print out the results, and we broadcast the results immediately via the Search FM mechanism. Finally, I want to acknowledge the Vice Chancellor of this university and his management for the support granted to my committee to see that we execute this process in a very seamless manner. I also want to commend the Search FM board and the staff for their cooperation. I want to commend the Dean of Student Affairs Division and his team. And I want to commend all aspirants. You have exhibited a very, very benevolent behavior in terms of delivery and answers to questions. I want to commend you for this and wish that the affairs we are going to conduct on Saturday will also be in a state of peace and tranquility. And whoever wins, you'll always have one winner out of the large number. Let us accept whatever is the verdict of our students. All that you need to do is go and mobilize your students to vote for you. At the end of the day, whoever wins is the winner. Give him the support and everything will go fine for the university. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Prof. That was closing remarks from Professor A.Y. Kabiru, the chairman of the Student Union Independent Electoral Committee, SUEC. And with that, just to round up, I'd like to say once again, please, all candidates, all supporters, try to be as polite and civil as possible. Like you heard Prof say, please make your way to the e-center for voting as early as possible and try to be peaceful throughout the entire process. I'd like to say a very big thank you to all of you who are here. You made this a success. All of the candidates, we wish you the best of luck in your aspirations. I'd like to say a very big thank you to the technical crew, Ragande Nate, Ibimode Babatunde Jr., Mike Udo. A very big thank you to all of you. And also the timekeeper, thank you so much, Ngozi Anligo. Okay, as the dean of student affairs just brought something up, as a physical representation of the commitment to peace, regardless of what the result is. He's saying that all of the presidential candidates should come out here and hug themselves, just saying that this is going to be peaceful. So please, presidential candidates, a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I also like to say a very big thank you to Okpemi Joseph. He was part of the crew as well. Thank you very much. Make sure to vote on Saturday. My name is Odaba Akoji. And for now, it's goodbye.
Subscribe to Search TV on YouTube. Search for Search TV and click the subscribe button.